Good morning, Twin Flames. Happy Monday to you. Thank you for all the likes, shares, and subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate you. I appreciate all the new viewers, so I want to thank you for watching God Conscious Twin Flames 1111. My name is Pam. And today I was guided to do a general reading for the Twin Flames. And as always, I prayed over, shuffled, and laid out your spread. And very interesting today, of course, we are in the period of a full moon, which will heighten your emotions, and it has represented itself in your reading today. So we got the moon. So I'm going to go over what the angels, God and the angels want you to know today. You're probably already experiencing some of the energies, and this is showing me that you are. So my role here is to help you get through that. I pray that I am a clear channel for those on this journey. I pray that I'm a source of strength and support when you're having difficult times. I believe that that's part of the mission, is that we help each other get through the difficulties that arise on the journey. And that's why we are now part of a community known as the Twin Flames. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Pentacles. And I find that very interesting. She is a very detail-oriented queen. She is a socially poised and pleasant queen. Very generous. See the beautiful peacock? I absolutely love peacocks. And I have some peacock feathers that I work with. On the negative side, she is stubborn and prone to jealousy. So I know that this is a twin flame. This is the divine feminine, and then in the first position we have the divine masculine as the King of Wands showing up in the reading today. So the King of Wands, in his creative energy, very interesting. They're looking away from each other. And then here they're looking towards each other. So God wants you to start to get to this. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. In this one, they're looking towards each other. But the way the reading came up, they were this way. So they're looking away from each other. I imagine that for those that are in separation, that's kind of where you're at. I kind of know that because we've got the Three of Swords and the Two of Swords. So we'll go through all of this. He might be being, because he's still working on awakening and ascension, rash and impulsive. He's a creative and an enthusiastic, but in the negative of that, and we have the moon representing. So I'm being told that the moon is affecting these relationships today, possibly even this week, maybe over the last few days. Very dynamic individual and very creative. On the negative, selfish and impatient, controlling, overconfident, could be arrogant even. And those are the dark sides of the personality of the divine masculine. And the divine feminine can have that too. But in all that creativeness and in intellectualizing it, it could create some negative reverberations. He could be thinking negatively about the feminine, and that's just because of the strong emotions. I know a lot of them don't want to be vulnerable, and we make them very vulnerable. So they want to find any way to step away from that. So maybe working a lot this week, maybe avoiding you. Maybe you were in some communication and it's going to go silent. Don't let that get to you. let him work through that, because if he's in arrogance, that's not a spirit of God, that's the spirit of the other side. I also want to share with you that I opened 2 Proverbs when I opened the Bible, and interestingly enough, the pastor of my church gave us a few Proverbs verses in his sermon yesterday, and boy did he preach. It was beautiful. But there are instructions in Proverbs on how we are to behave, and it gives us these little parables. So I'm in Proverbs right now, 29:1. He who is often rebuked and hardens his neck will suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. And so kind of what that's saying, somebody who's been kind of put down most of their life, it will ultimately destroy them, because that's not who they truly are. And it'll seem as though they're the victim, and they'll think that way. So in that negative side, they're going to think, oh, well, I've been rebuked by my ex-wife, I've been rebuked by my mother and my father. It makes them hard, and then it ultimately destroys them. And I've kind of been talking with you over that. The cards have been telling us that. You might have experienced that. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when a wicked man rules, the people groan. So you want to act in righteousness. You want to act in love. You want to act in generosity towards people that you might be in authority over, because that's how God treats us. We want to come under his authority and learn his ways so that we can act out in his ways towards others. And that's how we can unify as a community, as a society, and then as a country, and in the world. 29:3, whoever loves wisdom makes his father rejoice, but a companion of harlots wastes his wealth. So I don't have to explain these all, but these are really good, wise words of King Solomon that we can take heed and express in our own lives, on the things that ways we are to behave and the ways that we're not to behave. So we have a king and a queen today. They're not looking at each other right now. We want to make sure that we're not being rash and impulsive, like both of them can be, stubborn, like they both can be. You really want to pull yourself into the creative modes and the positive modes and enthusiasm and being the dynamic, loving self that you are. And that's an important aspect of your personality that sometimes gets covered up with fear. So that's kind of what they're saying. Don't let fear dictate you. Don't let illusions of stories dictate you. So I'm going to go into the Three of Swords, and it's stormy emotions. And we were warned about that yesterday. I know clearly that emotions can be driven by the moon cycles, and we are in a full moon. This could mean, that there's it does in some ways mean that there's, for some people actually, that there is a third party and there's strife in a relationship, but it doesn't have to mean that. There could be strife between you and your divine partner right now. But it's only a 3, so it's a energy of a 3. It doesn't carry a heavy weight, if you will, that this can pass. And then you could see the clearing behind the stormy sky here, that the skies are going to clear. So it's going to be a quick moving storm. I think I mentioned that to you yesterday as well. It will be quick moving. Whatever argument it could be, it could be related to separation. Let's say you and your twin are far apart, and that might be causing some angst between the both of you individually. Like you might be anxious because he's so far away, and he might be anxious you're so far away. And so it could mean that you guys are going into separation again. But even if it is, it's a short time, because it carries an energy of a 3. It could be something going on in your family, where there's and we saw that yesterday too, that where there is, some strife, some arguments, some maybe a child. It showed us yesterday there was a child that could be causing some chaos, and emotions. It could be the child within causing the chaos, and that's what that reminds me of. So it could be the child within you that's causing that. In your unexpected position. So some of you have ventured off into business, and this is a very positive card for that. It's a creative male energy. And so your new idea is being blessed. It could be a new way of life. Maybe we talked a lot about a move. You could be moving. Could be a new way of life for you. Maybe you've got a new group of friends, a circle that you're surrounded by. But it's exciting. It is blessed. It is. It will be a successful venture. If it is about the relationship, there is passion there. But we have to overcome these energies in order for it to really be successful. And if it's a new way of life, the new way of life could simply mean that you're not going to see his negative side anymore. You know that that's from pain in the past that's coming up for clearing. That is a new way of life. It is a new perception on things. If it's a new business, congratulations. I encourage you. You've been getting those cards too for a couple of, almost 2 weeks now. Some of you are moving into new business ventures. This is the spring, regeneration, new life, rebirth. So it's encouraging. And then I showed you in your position, the moon. And the moon energy is really heavy for some people. You have the moon in here too. So we're surrounded by the moon energies, and the moon energies can be intense. In this one, it shows a crab, so we could be talking about a Cancer. I'm not big on horoscopes, and this is interesting that it has the face of the moon in there. But then you have these two pillars over here, which to me represent an 11. So this reading is definitely a twin flame reading. The moon represents illusions and shadows, and so you might be overreacting to something that has happened, and it's encouraging you to wait for more information before you get overly emotional. There could be possible deception, but I'm not feeling that in this. You might think there is because something that had happened. You could be feeling uncertain about this whole relationship. Something could have triggered you to feel like, he's lying to me, or she's lying to me, she's lying to me. Don't feed that. Don't feed that. That's going to create, which is the outcome, and it's telling us that there's a stalemate situation, or a deadlock exists, feelings of confusion. Both of these cards, this whole spread is telling me, well, you've got the positive creative energy going, so you want to focus on that, not on the negative, because you can be like this, just with a blink of an eye, looking towards each other with compassion and love and understanding and, the fruits of the spirit. Or you could be in this idea that, we're in separation, and it just feels too heavy, and that I can't go on because I'm in separation. The outcome, stalemate, deadlock, confusion. It's telling you, though, because it's a 2, look at this situation differently. Let's get a new perception. Let's get a new idea on what this actually means, what actually happened, because I don't know, sometimes I would create all these stories in my head about why he didn't call, and more often than not, he fell asleep. And it was as simple as that. And he really fell asleep. He would take these long naps and just not answer the phone, or leave the phone in the car and just not call. And during a portion of time in this relationship, it used to make me really uncomfortable. I had a lot of insecurities. I did not have the ability to see clearly. So see, if she's blindfolded, I just didn't have the ability to see clearly. God worked with me really a lot and had that situation occur over and over and over and over again. There were points on this journey that I was just beside myself with, oh, he's doing this and oh, he's doing that, and it was insane. And the reality is he was doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. But my mind wanted to say he was cheating, or that he was lying, or that he was, ignoring me. Don't do that. Just stay focused on your goals. The angels just buzz my ears. So somebody is going through this right now, and there might be more than one somebody going through this. The moon, the illusions, the moon. Do not fall victim to the illusions and the stormy emotions about the separation. Stay in the creative energy that the divine is working all things out. So 1, 2, 3. You have 4 moons in your spread. So the moon is really affecting a lot of you. Just be still and know that God is. This is going to pass. The moon will be, the moon energies will be going through to the middle of the week. So I'm going to go into the daily guidance for more wisdom for you guys. Oh, I just dropped everything. Okay. So, do you want some suggestions on maybe thought patterns? Says in 29:4 in Proverbs, a man who flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his feet. By transgression, an evil man is snared, but the righteous sings and rejoices. The righteous, this is verse 4, the righteous considers the cause of the poor, but the wicked does not understand such knowledge. So we want to really, whoever walks it's 28:18. Whoever walks blamelessly will be saved, but he who is perverse in his ways will suddenly fall. So we have fallen victim to some of those things, and on this journey, it has kind of, I don't blame him for where he's at anymore, and I'm encouraging you not to blame him or her for where they're at anymore. They're right where they're supposed to be. They have to go through it. It says, a faithful man, this is verse 28:20, a faithful man will abound with blessings, but he who hastens to be rich will not go unpunished. So, the fruits of the Spirit, I have encouraged you to look that up. So what other wisdom do you have for us, angels and God? We send great waves of love into your heart and mind, awakening your love for life itself. Your clear decision to accept and enjoy romance has triggered this reawakening. Allow yourself to spontaneously celebrate love in all of its glorious forms. So rather than be afraid that he's doing something wrong or go into the illusion, it's suggesting that you send waves of love into your own heart and into your own mind. Let the angels guide you. That's the answer. That's the answer to everything, is love. And life purpose. The purpose of your life is to serve in a way that brings great joy to yourself and others. Don't worry about finding your purpose. Instead, focus upon serving a purpose, and then your purpose will serve you. So these are 2 really great advice cards for this energy that's going on. Send love rather than create the illusion. Just, I want to be love. I want to act in love. I want to see only love. Um, Even when he's acting out, I want to be love. I want to see love. I understand that, pain, uh, hurt people hurt people. Don't put yourself in the position of feeding the hurt. Feed the love. When somebody is hurting, they're going to hurt you. And the Course in Miracles talks about that kind of at length. Um, to give them only love. That's a cry for love when they're out to hurt somebody. I want to see what else Cupid says in our little book here. Okay. This card comes to you because the angels see your desire for romance. Instead of fixing the externals in your life, in your love life, they assist you internally. Wow. I talk about that enough. The angels say that romance springs from falling in love with life itself. When you let the angels awaken this love within you, you naturally attract and experience more romantic love in your relationships. So that's really good advice for this. If you're in separation, just kind of replace that with romantic love. Just remember maybe the times. Here's some additional advice. Surround yourself with romantic beauty, such as roses and candles. Give any emotional hurts to the angels. Ask Archangel Michael to help you release any painful attachments to previous or current lovers. Clearly decide what you desire in your love life. Affirm, it is safe for me to love and be loved. It is safe for me to be loved and to be loved. And that'll help you get out of that stalemate situation, that deadlock. Because in our stubbornness, which the Queen of Pentacles represents, I'm not calling him. He hurt me. But it is safe for you to love and be loved. We don't realize how often we reject love. So, angels, any other answers that you have for us today? And I think I'm going to pull from Kuan Yin today. And I wanted to talk about that. There. Unlikely. So, it is unlikely that what you're upset about is the problem. But let's see what they... maybe you had a question. Oh, they're so beautiful, angels. You're comical. I love you. So in the little guidebook, the situation you have asked about is unlikely to occur as you are imagining it. So you're imagining it. There may be different versions of events that will take place. Or it may be that what you've asked about is simply not in your highest and greatest good. Place your focus on an alternative possibility. Open your eyes to different opportunities. Be willing to experience a unique and more uplifting outcome than what you had planned for yourself. So, if you were planning for yourself, that dirty dog, he's not answering my calls. That's not where they want you to be. Just whispering. They don't want you there anymore. Okay? They're funny. I love the angels. I don't know if you can hear that, but I love the angels. I had to say that. Okay, Kuan Yin, what do you have for us today? Sacred River Yangtze. Now, I want to talk about this because there are religions that are kind of prejudiced against other gods and goddesses, and I don't believe that. I believe that all of this leads us back to God. So I do want to encourage open-mindedness, because what I like about this particular deck, it's very just, I don't know, sexy, romantic, angelic to me. See the halo around her head. They have some beautiful prayers in here. Alana Fairchild does a really good job. The artwork is just stunning, and the details in the jewelry, elegant. Just elegant, sophisticated. With a lotus flower and just dreamy, almost dreamy, I think. So the sacred river Yangtze. The sacred river Yangtze eternally flows and changes. Just as the river flows and changes course, you too are evolving in your divine path. Veils and sheaths that once covered your soul light are being washed away. cleansing by sacred water specifically indicates that your emotional life and your life direction are being purified and healed. Changes in the flow of energy within you and in the momentum of your life path unfolding are imminent. This is exciting. You are growing and changing, and soon your life circumstances will reflect your inner evolution. The sacred river Yangtze, I may not be pronouncing that correctly, I'm sorry, in which beloved Kuan Yin delights, is always subtly changing course, flowing and growing. You, like the sacred river, are changing too, beloved. Your life direction is going through subtle realignments, or even in the midst of a far more obvious change. You are encouraged to trust in the natural unfoldment of this process and to allow it to work its way through you and your life. Wow, that reminds me. This is clearing that still needs to be done for you. If you're caught up in this, this is clearing this energy of, you guys cannot really be separated. You're connected. And you're connected with all people. So even if it's strife in the family, you're connected by love. And all the illusions of these fights and desiring attention are just cries for love. So the sacred river Yangtze is an extension of the intelligent guidance of the Divine Mother, her hand reaching through your soul and guiding you towards your highest destiny. She helps the higher self release any impurities which it no longer needs to contain. In doing so, there can be a period of spiritual release and even physical detoxification. The detox may occur through emotions that surface because of the moon, inexplicable pains or aches in the body, a feeling of tiredness for no particular reason, and the need to rest, or the urge to meditate more. Do healing, go for swims in the ocean, attend a yoga class, or even change the way you are eating and sleeping. These are natural, intuitive impulses that confirm your soul is going through a cleansing process as it brings more of its purity into expression on the physical plane. Kuan Yin speaks as the soul of the sacred river now and guides you to be kind to yourself during these changes and to honor your inner guidance as your own inner light grows stronger now. Trust the flowing changes of the sacred river through your life. You may observe that people are even more attracted to your light during such time and in the period following this shift in your light quotient. You are holding more light in your being and without the old veils covering your inner light. Your soul is able to shine through matter stronger than ever before. Some people will be attracted to these changes in you and your relationships will grow and improve. There might be some that are fearful of the changes. Keep firm boundaries that are loving and don't worry about any extra attention you will receive. Your light is not just growing brighter, it is growing stronger too. And you will be ready to handle any situation that comes to you with joy, grace, and effectiveness. Be kind and patient, stay true to yourself, and trust that spiritual growth serves all. Healing in the sacred river Yangtze. Imagine that you're standing near a beautiful river composed of light and sound. It shimmers with love, peace, and beauty. You just want to be as close to it as you can because it feels so good to be near it. Imagine stepping into the river and allowing rainbows of light and sound to wash through you, cleansing you inside and out. The water is clean and pure, filled with ancient power and majesty. As you step out of the river, you notice that you are now clothed in a new fresh robe of silk in whatever color feels right for you. When you are ready, open your eyes. And now here's the prayer. Kuan Yin, Divine Ancient River Mother, Sacred Soul of the Yangtze, I receive the spiritual waters of your cleansing and illumination now. Bless my path and my process with your mercy and potency. May I reveal and realize myself in a new way now. Without fear of attachment to the past, may I allow the sacred river to chart my course, carving out my highest divine destiny and path now. Of my own free will, so it is. So, happy Monday. There is your advice for these heavy emotions, sending you blessings of love, light, peace, harmony in your heart. Go through it. Let it, just go through it. Imagine yourself the way she said, just being cleansed of it, and it will be done. Thank you. Peace and blessings, and until tomorrow, my beautiful soulmates.